Another day, another Coronation Street star quitting Coronation Street. Sorry I missed this when it dropped. I was drinking, I'm not hungover, and now we're here. So yeah, another Coronation Street character exits. Coronation Street's Paddy Beaver announces exit. He'll bow out as Max Turner this spring. Coronation Street actor Paddy Beaver has confirmed his exit from the ITV soap. The soap star who plays Max Turner on the cobbles has already filmed his last scenes, which will air sometime in spring. In a statement shared with Digital Spy, he began, "After much reflection and an incredibly difficult decision, I have chosen to step away from Max and Coronation Street to explore new opportunities. I've been surrounded by kindness and support every step of the way." The statement continued, "I'm eternally grateful for the chance to bring Max's story to life. It's been a great privilege to contribute to the legacy of a well-loved and iconic show. This chapter has been unforgettable, and while I look forward to what lies ahead, I will treasure these memories." Paddy told bosses of his decision to quit the soap at the start of last year, so what, at the start of 2024? Giving writers time to come up with a dramatic exit storyline for his character. Okay, so if anybody's not sure how contracts really work in soap, typically all the actors are on a 1-year deal, and they typically renew at the end of the year. So, like, at the end of the year is when they try to re-sign everyone and make sure. I'm sure some of the older actresses are on a much higher retainer, but I'd imagine for the characters they really want locked down, like the David Platts, like the Steve McDonald's, I'd imagine like the Ken, the Audrey, I'd imagine these actors are on a bit more lucrative like contracts, but still, typically it's a 1-year deal, or at least in my experience and my understanding. I could be wrong, feel free to correct me in the comment section. But as far as I'm concerned, I'm pretty sure the contracts are roughly a year. And that's why Daisy said I won't be signing another contract. So that means her scenes should be bowing out at the end of her contract. But yeah, there we are. The soap actor is set to be a huge story. The soap actor finished filming at the end of 2024, and his exit is set to be a huge storyline for the Platt family early this year. I mean, perhaps he's involved in the Platt fire, which I would not be too surprised with. Beaver's exit is one, or Beaver. I've always said Beaver. I guess it could be Beaver. Beaver's exit is one of many Coronation Street departures announced this month, including Shelley King, Charlotte Jordan, Colson Smith. Long-standing cast member Sue Cleaver, who played Eileen Grimshaw, left to embrace change, while viewers said goodbye to Luke Toole and as Mason Radcliffe earlier this month. Okay, is it necessarily a big blow for Max? I mean, let's just say as a whole, Paddy Beaver, he's done a good job in the role. I know people don't really think he's the best actor, and they think his delivery is a bit ass and it's not really the best, but he has been on the show for since 2021, so he will at this point will have spent a good couple of years on the show. And let's be honest, the way to not get typecast as Max is to leave after 4 years. It's the Richard Blackwood effect, right? He essentially has this theory that if you stay on a show for more than 4 years, on a soap, for example, no casting director wants to touch you because it's a long enough time, but it's not long enough just to associate you with that character. So, leaving after about 4 years, you've been there since 2021. And let's be honest, mate, in comparison to the last Max, he's Gary Oldman. He's fantastic in comparison to the last Max. The last Max couldn't say hello without slipping over and falling on his ass. Sorry to denigrate the previous Max actor, but people don't like this iteration of the character that much. He's 10 times better than the previous one. It was the effect where you needed to recast a slightly older actor in order to give him more adult storylines, and they took him in the direction they did him being radicalized by the far-right extremist group spreading hateful propaganda that resulted in someone following his words and attacking Ali and Nazir. And generally his relationship with Lauren. And he kind of spent a period of time with Lauren and Sabrina, and ultimately I understand the decision to leave. I kind of agree with it in a sense, because they never tended to have a long-running plan for this character. They never really believed in the character. And like, yes, he was involved in the whodunit for Joel Deering, but I don't know. It's just kind of it's just a weird one. I'm just not a big fan. I don't mind him. I really don't mind him. I don't think he's bad, but I don't think anybody's really going to be shedding a tear that Max is gone. You know, maybe some teenagers with a crush or something, but fundamentally, he fit the role. He was an alright character. He somewhat managed to hang with Audrey, with David, with Gail. He had a lot of really, not important scenes, just big scenes with all these actors, and he didn't look like he was caught out. He was never the most convincing, but still, he's a young actor. You know, you can grow into the role, and he definitely grew into the role through time. It was a way to show the kind of David coming of age, similar to Max's coming of age. Having some pretty dark things happen in his life, being radicalized by the alt-right, or by the far-right, rather. Like, there was a lot of very heavy material that I think they covered quite well. But it's just, they never really seemed to have a big, long-running story for him. And now you would have to imagine at this point, probably he's just going to leave because Lauren's decided to pack things in and they've given up. I do wonder where this leaves Lauren as a character, because they've kind of... I know that they've had, like, they cast Tegan Lomax as, like, Lauren's cellmate, I think. I don't know if it was a big official one, maybe just a slight recurring character. I know they keep trying to build Lauren, but I personally think it's time to just pack it up. I don't think the Lauren experiment's been doing well. I think Betsy's already a better character than Lauren has ever been. I don't understand why she was given such a prominent storyline. I don't know why they are just trying to constantly repeat the success of Kelly Nealon. Like, yes, I don't know, it's just Coronation Street loves a tragic woman character who's only known pain and suffering, really. And all soaps do, in a way, because it means you can give them really impactful stuff, but, like, I think this experiment's over now. I don't think we need to continue with Lauren as a character. She's not bad, she's just not good either, is my problem. Like, it's been the same story the entire time. So maybe this is going to be her exit as well. Maybe she is just going to go to prison for Joel's murder, and we won't see much more of her anyways. But yeah, so ultimately he will probably leave as a part of the Platt Fire, which is probably going to take place in February if I had to guess. Probably going to be trying to compete with the EastEnders anniversary. Yeah, I don't know, man. It's fair enough. I think it's an interesting way to... it's just interesting that a lot of these actors have been quitting rather than deciding to leave. It kind of... I'm not saying it shows that it shows that the show's in a bad place, but if long-standing characters are leaving... Now, admittedly, it may not be the new direction. Like you said, a lot of these were decisions made last year, or, you know, the previous year they went, I'm not signing my new contract. You know, it's like... I don't necessarily think it's the show's fault. I just don't really think they've been doing as good as they would have liked to, which has kind of made the cast kind of decide, maybe it's not really the time for me. Maybe I'll come back in a couple of years. But I suppose the difference with a lot of these exits is a lot of these characters aren't dying, which is different from the Hollyoaks approach, where a bunch of really good characters have been mercilessly killed off with no real plan for the future. So, could always be worse, could be Hollyoaks. But yeah, tell me what you think about Max, I don't even remember his second name, Turner. Tell me what you think about Max Turner's exit in the comment section down below. I've been Ash from Watching Walford. Tell me what you think about this once again. You sad? You happy? All of the above. Yeah, thanks for watching the video. See you in the next one. Bye-bye.